Welcome back to the Mike Rogers Show. Mike Rogers here with you. Hello, everyone. And today we have part 2 of our great talk with Josie Cotton, the one, the only Josie Cotton, the head of jury, Japan Indies Music Awards Show, Miss Josie Cotton.
Yeah.
And then your album is, what is the name of the album?
The name of the album is Day of the Gun, and the reason I chose that title is because it sounded like a spaghetti western title. When I thought of it, when I was writing the song, and the line came to me, and I went, God, I've heard that before. Somebody has got to have written something called Day of the Gun, and there was no music ever written, but there was an old movie. I'd never seen it before, but it was called Day of the Gun. I think it's from the 1940s or something. It's yeah. So, but it's I think that they're past. They can't sue me or let me try. I think they're all dead. But
I don't think they can sue you anyway, even if it was new, because that's the English language, and maybe they made a logo. You can't use that logo, but you can use the words Day of the Gun.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. And I know of course, David Bowie, after, Ziggy Stardust and Diamond Dogs, he said he wanted to do like Frank Sinatra type of music.
Right.
And you are taking it one step further. And I think it's better because I didn't like David Bowie's Volare and songs like that.
Oh, he did. I never heard that either. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He did it just like Frank did it.
Okay.
So, but you're doing like you did the Ballad of Elvis Presley. You did, what was the...
Ukrainian Cowboy?
Yeah, Ukrainian Cowboy. And now you're doing Morricone. I think that's really cool that you're doing that. And the punk kids, the punk kids who originally liked Johnny, Are You Queer and stuff like that, do you find them accepting of your new music? Are they really hardcore fans?
Well, I do have fans who have followed me down all these different paths. But I once in a while I will do these 80s festivals, and they don't really want to hear your new stuff. They are locked into a time period, and I think it's more about the feeling they had from that time in their lives, more than anything else. And they're like, and it's lovely. I mean, they're so happy to hear it again and happy to see you and all of that, and that's great. But I just feel like I'm an ever evolving kind of musician, and my attention span is small, and I like doing new things. I like to completely change my whole aesthetic, and now and then, and usually on every album.
That's really cool. So I got two things to say. One is about you doing the 80s song or 80s festivals or whatever, and the song that you do for your encore must be Jimmy Loves Marianne.
I never do that one live.
No, Josie, you have to. Jimmy Loves Marianne. Jimmy Loves Marianne.
I've done it one time live, and I don't know. I just, I think that was bigger in Europe than it was in the United States. No one ever asked me about that either, but you and one other person in my whole life.
Really?
Yeah. He could be the one, and I don't do that one live either.
Wow. So when I was a punk, a sort of punk. I was a suburban punk back in those days.
Suburban punk. Okay.
And then when I saw Jimmy Loves Marianne, I thought, this is the perfect pop song. This is fantastic. And I can see the video in my head right now.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe I'll think about, maybe I'll play that at the next 80s thing I do, because I'm doing one in Texas in August. But, they say, only your hits, but I don't know.
What do you mean? Isn't that your biggest, like your biggest or second biggest hit?
I think actually my biggest hit was "See the New Hong Kong." Do you remember that song?
Yeah.
And there was a beautiful video. This director did this the most amazing thing. That was my biggest hit, and around the world and whatnot. And then also, If a Lie Was Love, there's this big DJ, they remix it or whatever. But after that, I think it's He Could Be the One, and then maybe Jimmy Loves Marianne. Johnny got barred, it got banned like everywhere. It wasn't really allowed on anywhere, and it was like big in the dance clubs and on some college stations like KRQ. You know, obviously, were the ones who like really played it, but it was banned so many places. I don't think it wasn't in record stores.
Why was it banned?
Well, because it was controversial, and I got banned in Amsterdam, Mike. I mean, like
you gotta really push Josie to get banned in Amsterdam.
I know. I know. I'm really proud of that.
Wow. Yeah, you should be proud of that. You know, getting banned makes something dangerous and cool.
I think so. I liked it.
Wow. So your new record's coming out?
Yeah.
Will you be touring and where are you going and where are you touring?
Well, I'm just so busy trying to get these videos done and everything out. I haven't set up a tour, but I have a great, fantastic band, and we are definitely going to be going out, and I'm dying to come to Japan. The last time the pandemic was such that, I had the shows, and I had your event with the Japan music award, alternative video
Music Awards. Yeah.
Indies Music Awards. The name is slightly different this year than I think before, but
that's right. It used to be the Ninja Indies Music Awards.
That's it.
But then I was told by somebody, no, you have to take the Japan Indies Music Awards. And I was like, why? And they said, well, because if you don't, someone else will. And I thought, oh.
Right. Interesting. Is that so? Yeah, that was that was really sad moment for me, because I've never been to Japan.
Really?
Never, and I've wanted to play there. I've had a couple of opportunities that
I thought
didn't happen.
I thought that you basically had a deal with a Japan release, and they were going to help you come over here. And I think that was run by Tower Records, wasn't it?
Yeah. That it was all kind of hinging on me being able to do shows over there and to go over there. But it was, Japan was shut down. They wouldn't let tourists in. They wouldn't let touring musicians in, for sure. So that was cut in its tracks. I'm going to try and bring it back from the dead. I have this record, for Japanese release ready to go, and so that's going to be definitely on my bucket list of things to get put together this year.
Yeah, it would be great if you could come here, at least maybe next year or whatever. And because, I announced the Japan Indies Music Awards, and so many people, even yesterday, somebody wrote to me, is Josie Cotton coming? I'd love to see Josie Cotton. And I said, I don't think so this year. Still, things are kind of messed up. And, Japanese labels need like 6 months advance notice. And
right. Well, I would love to go. I would love to go to that award show. I would love that.
Oh, if you did, you would be front page news on all the newspapers and everything here.
I'll be there. I'm coming.
Speaking of Japan, you did, was it a Godzilla song? Theme of Godzilla?
Yes. Goodbye Godzilla from a B movie, Godzilla 1980 something like 84 or something. It wasn't like as vintage as the other songs on that record. But yeah, it was a love song to Godzilla, and she's breaking up with him, and he's crying, and it's ridiculous, and a very beautiful song.
And you know what, Josie, your diction in your Japanese is really good.
That's what you were saying. I'd no one had ever told me that before.
I had a guy who runs a radio station tell me that your Japanese singing was really, I don't know, how do you say, par excellence. And
really? It's so funny because
diction's good, everything was good.
Wow.
Shawa say so. You did shawa say so also.
Yeah. Shawa say so. Yeah.
How did you learn to sing in Japanese, Josie?
I wrote down phonetically what it sounded like, the sounds that it seemed like they were saying, and I wrote it down, Chiawa, and I spelled it up, I spelled it out like, and I never talked to anybody from Japan or anything about it. I kind of have a way of being able to mimic things. And so I think I was able to, just inhabit that song. And it was such a beautiful song. I mean, that's the song where, they're begging the twins in the movie that they're begging Mothra to save the world.
Yeah.
And they're singing this beautiful song, and Mothra with its giant eyelashes is, practically crying, and they're like, please save the world. It's the lyrics translate. I did have the lyrics translated, and they're just incredibly gorgeous. The imagery, it's poetic,
When I was a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old kid, I'm half Japanese.
I know that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my mom and I watched Mothra movie.
Right.
And when those two ladies, they're called Peanuts, they're rock band Peanuts, came out of that little carriage and started singing Mothra. That scared the shit out of me.
Scared you, really?
I was so scared.
That's funny. I didn't know a child would be scared, but
that was terrifying to me.
That's funny. That's the song. That's the movie that gave me the idea to do a whole album of theme songs from B movies.
That's a great album too.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that record.
So, anyways, Josie, okay, thanks so much for your time today. Do you have any last messages to everyone?
To everyone?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Just I don't know, Mike. I don't have any messages. I just I would just say, just don't lie.
Don't what?
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. Be who you are, and don't apologize for it. Be yourself. That's the most
really
powerful
cool
thing. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Josie, you have a fan for life.
Thank
forever.
you, Mike.
Until I die, I'm going to be playing Josie Cotton music.
I can't believe we've never met in person. That's terrible.
Well, I haven't lived there in 40 years.
I know.
So when you had those hits, I was watching from afar, and I thought, this girl is so beautiful. She sings so well. These songs are hits. This is just perfect.
Yeah, but
it's still just perfect, Josie.
You're so sweet. I love you, Mike.
I love you too. Thank you so much, Josie Cotton.
Thank you. Go see the Indie Music Awards from Japan Indie Music Awards. I don't know the name anymore. It's something like that. Go see that.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Mike.